All right, welcome back, everybody. The 149th Kentucky Derby is over, and the big story is Venezuela wins big with the jockey and the trainer for Mage both winning, who are both from Venezuela. Now, remember what we said on April 10th, the day of the Louisville bank shooting? We said the shooting would definitely have something to do with the races, and we benefited from that a lot in race 10 with post 4 with Luis Saiz, the big underdog, which we'll get to. But remember what I pointed out about the Louisville bank shooting on April 10th? How it was synced with the Superior General, the leader of the Black, or excuse me, if you don't know who the Superior General is, he's known as the Black Pope. He's the leader of the Jesuits who serve the Catholic Church. Of course, the race at Kentucky Derby's Churchill Downs. But Arturo Sosa, the leader of the Jesuits, is from Venezuela. Again, if you're not aware, Pope Francis is the first ever Jesuit Pope, and it's the first time ever that the Superior General and the Pope are from South America. The Pope's from Argentina. Remember, they won the World Cup in '86, and then they won it this past World Cup, the first ever World Cup, with the championship in December, the day after the Pope's 86th birthday. The winning jockey and trainer today from Venezuela, where the Superior General from. Again, the shooting was 149 days after his birthday. This is the 149th Kentucky Derby. Mage was not our favorite horse in the main event, but we did nice throughout the day. Would have been nice if our favorite horse came through in this one. But some people did take Mage because, again, it made a little bit of sense. Mage, 4 dead horses. Castellano only had 4 races for the day. His 4th race was winning the big event. And Castellano also had the biggest win of the day for us. In race 14, he was in post 9. Or excuse me, I take that back. In race 9, he was in post 14. So 149, like the 149th Kentucky Derby. His horse won with 47-1 odds. That was a horse we had circled. So Castellano's 2 big wins today were the biggest payout of the day, 47-1. And then he won the main event on Mage at 15-1. Interestingly enough, 47 is the 15th prime. Might recall when LeBron won his 15th game of the season on his birthday, he scored 47. But the post positions were drawn on the first day of the 5th month, first day of May. The day before that, a national news story was that a young girl died at age 15 riding a horse in Florida. The Florida Derby was obviously important in this because Forte, who was pulled today, the first ever favorite scratch the day of the race in the history of the Derby, Forte, which sounds like 4 with the 4 dead horses, Forte beat Mage in the Florida Derby on April 1st. Mage came in 2nd. And again, what was interesting about that is Irad Ortiz Jr. rode Forte in the Florida Derby. He got transferred to one of the late sub-ins today. And the jockey of Mage switched. Luis Saiz was on Mage in the Florida Derby, but today Castellano. And, you know, it's funny that the Masters, we knew the countries of the golfers. To date, I've never looked at the countries of the jockeys. I realize I can't overlook that again. He was the only jockey from Venezuela. And in hindsight, that's just like, ugh, I wish I would have turned over that stone because we knew the Superior General obviously had something to do with this. He's from Venezuela. Venezuela's the big story. And again, news and sports. So in race 10 post 4, remember the bank shooting was on the 10th day of the fourth month. The jockey Luis Saiz was ranked on the worst horse, but he came in 2nd place. We thought that horse had a great shot to do very well in that race. It came in 2nd place with the worst odds. But again, the reason why is because of the name of the horse was Gold Heist, which reminds of a bank. And typically when they're shooting in a bank, there's a robbery and banks and gold. But also in Gematria, Luis Saiz equals 104. So again, I wanted to get out what was big about Mage winning. Again, 4-letter horse name. Castellano was only in 4 races today. There's a total of 14 races for the day, if you didn't know. Castellano was in 4 of them. 2 big wins today. One where he was not expected to win, and then one where he had middle of the pack odds with Mage. And the Mage thing does kind of remind us of Mega with Trump coming back. But another thing that's interesting about Mage, if you add up the 4 races that Mage was in, post 10, 3, 14, and 8. If you add up those posts, it adds up to 35. 149 is the 35th prime number. Of course, the numerology of 35 is 8, and he was on horse 8. But Web Slinger was his big 149 ritual where he won with 47 to 1 odds. Big payout on that. And then 15 to 1 in the main event, the Kentucky Derby. And again, just to give you an idea of what we do when we break all this stuff down, again, we look at all the numbers. I realize I got to look at the nationality from now on. Would have stood out that he was the only Venezuelan jockey. Oh, by the way, the owner, or the trainer, excuse me, Gustavo Belgado, who's also from Venezuela. Couldn't find his birthday online. Didn't have that information for him, but he does have the 54 name gematria, like Jesuit orders 54. Again, we're talking about it being synced up with the superior general leader of the Jesuits. And today's date numerology for the race also 54. And something I did have in the notes, it changed this morning. Mage actually looked more interesting to me before what they did this morning. Because before this morning, before they pulled Forte, there were 19 horses in the race. And what stood out to me is Mage was the horse that equaled 19, going with the 19 horses in the race. 19, the 8th prime number. That was a big pattern when Medina Spirit won 2 years ago before they was disqualified later. But again, the 19 and 8 thing was really standing out while there were 19 horses in the race. But again, they pulled Forte and they brought it to 18 horses. They made a point about how Japanese horses were 0-18. Now they're 0-19. They made a point about how gray horses haven't won for 18 years. But yeah, just so much shifting in recent years in the Derby. Last minute, it makes you got to rethink about what they're doing. And as there's more gamblers, there's more goofiness in the world of sports, from the Derby to everything else. Just more unprecedented things. 4 dead horses, unprecedented. Now it's up to 7. They're saying 7 horses are dead now. Again, just the last time 5 horses were pulled. So Angel of Empire that came in 3rd, check this out. Check this out. Angel of Empire. So we noticed something big was going on with 62 because Todd Pletcher set a record by entering his 62nd horse in the Derby. References made to the 4 horses of the apocalypse because of the 4 dead horses. Revelation 6:2 speaks to that. Words like Mason, Queen, and Crown equal 62. Sacrifice 62. Today, King Charles' coronation, he became the 62nd monarch of England. Post 14, which Angel of Empire was in, has not won for 62 years. The only other Derby to have 5 horses scratched was the 62nd Kentucky Derby, and there were 14 horses in that. So that's what started to make Angel of Empire look very interesting. If you took them to finish in the top 3, it paid a little better than 4 to 1, so not bad. If you took them to win, obviously it didn't win. But again, just trying to keep track of all the numbers in the shifting. All that 62 and 14 ended up being part of the reason it was in the top 3, no doubt about it. And the horse that came in 2nd, 2 Phils. Again, Philadelphia is all over the place in sports. World Series, Super Bowl, MLS championship. Right now fighting with the Celtics, trying to make it to the NBA finals. If so, it'd be a repeat of 1980 where Philadelphia went to 4 championships. But 2 Phils. Something else that stood out about that horse today is it was in post 3. There's a powerful relationship with 3 and 56. Remember, when you spell out 3, when you spell out light, when you spell out Abrahamic, they all equal 56. Kentucky Derby is also 56. 2 Phils was in post 3, but the jockey was wearing the letters PH, like the abbreviation for water. And again, there was some rain at the track today. One of the things they were saying early on is, on a rainy day, always bet gray. And then they made the point about how a gray horse hadn't won for 18 years with 18 horses in the race, but obviously that was bait. Ultimately, it was just simply about Arturo Sosa and Venezuela. I mean, if you really boil it down, and knew somehow that was going to factor. But yeah, we do tons of analysis on the Derby, and it's been very helpful over years. It's just like today we had a winning day. Could have been better. We've had better years where we hit on big old odds in the Derby. But again, just something that I had circled for everybody in the community. I said, you know, this horse to do well in race 10 post 4, the longest odds in the race, Hoist the Gold, had the Gematria 56 like the date, Kentucky Derby 56. And again, race 10, post 4, Luis Saez 104. The shooting at the bank, normally a bank robbery to hoist the gold on 10-4. So again, that horse finished in second. Nice payout. And again, the winner, Castellano, again, his big payout today was bigger than the Derby. It was race 9, post 14 on Webslinger. Came in with 20-1 odds, but went off with 47-1 odds. So the other thing about Mage winning with 15-1 odds, I knew 15 was going to be a big number for everybody who was on the Patreon. I made the password for everything Derby 15. Knew that was going to be a big number in this thing. And Forte, because remember, you had Patrick Mahomes, number 15, do the Riders Up. So Mahomes, number 15, was part of the ceremony. They pulled horse 15. 15 is the fifth triangular number. Here we are in the fifth month. The thing that happened with the dead girl, the 15-year-old girl in Florida, where Forte won the Florida Derby, where Mage came in second. So then Mage, who was runner-up to Forte there, wins with 15-1 odds. And yeah, I really wish I would have had the piece on the jockey and the trainer being from Venezuela. So from now on, I will look at that information. And I'm just kicking myself because I was looking for the greater connect with the shooting coming 149 days after the Superior General's birthday. And that's Arturo Sosa, who's from Venezuela. So they do Argentina for the Pope with the World Cup. Then in the biggest horse race of America, they go all Venezuela. And again, the thing is, this reminds you who's running the world, who's manipulating things, who's really killing the horses. If I didn't say so already, if you watched after Mage won, I have it all recorded here on my phone. I might upload the footage later. They might take it down for copyright. But a gentleman came on maybe about 5-6 minutes after the race was won. He had a white hat on with Mage with a heart. And he said, we dedicate this to a woman. It was a woman's name. I didn't catch her name. But he said she just passed away 2 weeks ago at age 38 from cancer. And I was like, oh, my God. She was part of the racing team for Mage. She died 2 weeks ago at age 38. Death, murder, killing, RIP 38. The deadly racetrack where the horses are typically dying, Santa Anita, the 38 track. And notice they do this ritual with Venezuela while Arturo Sosa's the magic age is 74. But here, with regards to death, let's also talk about the 4 dead horses, because now it's up to 7, so I got to do research on the additional 3 that are dead. But again, prior to the race, they were talking about the 4 dead horses. Now, 2 of those dead horses were connected to Luis Saez. He also rode those horses, Luis Saez, who he was on Tapit Trice, who was one of the favorites. And just before the race, they mentioned how much public money was on Angel of Empire and Tapit Trice to win. It was a huge amount. They said how the vast majority of the money is on those 2 horses. And then they ran at the back of the pack the whole race. And then Angel of Empire came up and got 3rd at the end. But that's the rigging and manipulation. And if those horses were ever intended to win, they just made a decision that we're not giving the public any money. We're going to rob the pooch again. But Luis Saez connected to 2 of the dead horses, had the big hoist the gold ritual. And Luis Saez, let me see. Let me see here. Let me go down to all the spots where Mage is mentioned, because I want to show you. All right, so this was the Florida Derby that Forte won, who was the favorite, who was scratched this morning. Saez came in second on Mage in that race. So again, he's connected to the dead horses, Saez. But then they didn't have him run on Mage for this race. They had him run on Tapit Trice. And Forte's jockey in the Florida Derby, Irad Ortiz Jr., he moved to Cyclone Mischief, who was in 3rd place in that, but who did not place today. So, again, I just want you to see where the guy connected to the dead horses fit in. Now, what's interesting is, remember, Medina Spirit, who won it 2 years ago in the huge 201 ritual, also with the numbers 19 and 8 like Mage this year. Medina Spirit ended up dying on the 201st day of the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year. And if you're new here, remember 201 is the number that defines the Jesuit order. That's why the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, is the first to live in Suite 201. If you're new here, just notice how Ignatius of Loyola is 201. That's the founder of the Jesuits. Jorge Mario Bergoglio is Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, the first to live in Suite 201. His name's 201. There's a lot of 201s in the Jesuit history, but if you write out the Jesuit order, it's 201. And they call this thing the Run for the Roses 201. Last year or 2 years ago when Medina Spirit won it, they had all the 201s. And Wikipedia even changed the picture of Bob Baffert, so all you could see behind his head in his photo were the numbers 201. They did that the night before Medina Spirit won. But Medina Spirit ended up dying on the 201st day of the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year, December 6th. And that was 2021. And December 6th is 126. The max weight for a jockey is 126 pounds. This year, the race was run on the 126th day of the year, and they made Angel of Empire the favorite, who came in third, who had the 126. But with regards to this year, the trainer who was connected to 2 of the 4 dead horses that they talked about, they also had the horse Lord Miles. And Lord Miles was coming into this race with 2 wins, 0 seconds, and 1 loss. So 2-0-1 in the first, second, third category, 2-0-1. The jockey for that horse was going to race on their 201st day of their age. So the point I'm making is that horse who was connected to the trainer, who was connected to 2 of the dead horses, had all these 201s, just like how Medina Spirit died in the big 201 ritual. And again, you just follow the numbers and understand this language that these psychopaths speak. You can see who's really doing this stuff, from, killing the people who are connected, like I'm sure the 38-year-old woman who died 2 weeks ago, to what's really going on with the horses. And again, it's a reminder, the game is so rigged. The news is so rigged. The shooting in Louisville. And remember, let me go back to that. You see how when it first started, the Louisville shooting, you see how they reported 5 dead, at least 6 taken to hospital. So they get the 5, 6 in there. Again, in the most pure cipher, Kentucky Derby is 56. Society of Jesus, that's the Jesuits. Arturo Sosa, the Pope, 56. For the record, the word Pope's 56. Royal Family's also 56. The King's coronation going on today. 2 horses with the King in the name. The one King horse, King's Barnes, ran well the whole race, but fell off at the end. And the other King horse that they got in there, what was funny, the King Russell that they stuck in at the last minute, did you notice that they had 20? So you guys, there were 23 horses entered in the race, right? But 5 were scratched. That's why 18 win. The last entry was King Russell, who got a number 23 on it, and who had a 41-year-old jockey. You see that? King 41-23. Same things we talk about all the time, but what a ritual for 2023, right? To get 23 horses in the race, only 18 running. And again, 18 running on an 18-date numerology. The Jesuit acronym IHS is 18, which stands for Isus Hominum Salvator. So, yeah, my big omission could have produced some more winners for the community. Apologies for not seeing that the jockey and trainer were from Venezuela, like Arturo Sosa, who had the Louisville shooting 149 days after his birthday. But yeah, also just they made a big point about how the shooting was across from Louisville Slugger Field, and the Derby was on the 126th day of the year. Bank shooting on the 10th, 26 days before the race. That's why we like Gold Heist so much, who did wonders for us today. Again, here, just to make a point about is this the right one of the jockeys? Hold on. All right. So again, we were just looking for any and all things related to 149. Irad Ortiz Jr., who didn't have a bad day. He had a nice race win for us in race 11, plus some more. But he came into Friday, the day that the main events begin, with 149 first. No other jockey had that. Let me see. Is this the right post? I think this is the right post. Okay, so Up to the Mark was a horse we really liked today for Irad Ortiz Jr. with 4-1 odds, and that horse won. So we were looking for all the 149 things in the 149th Kentucky Derby. So race 11, post 5, Irad, his big 149 ritual, it hit. He was going to be on the favorite, but it got scratched, and then instead he ended up on Cyclone Mischief, which was there were only 2 horses in the race that equaled 149. Cyclone Mischief, who got added late, and also Tap It Trice, who was one of the favorites, who they ran at the back of the pack. And like I was telling people, it's better to have the numbers on the left side than right side. Right side's not always encouraging. But hold on, let's go through the other 149s. Flavian Pratt with his. You see the joke they did with Flavian Pratt in race 5, post 2? Flavian Pratt, 52, Devil, 52 on Speak of the Devil. He came in the top 3 on that horse. Race 14, post 9. Unfortunately, they scratched this, so this isn't going to go off anymore. So that one's off. It's not available. Sister Lou Ann didn't exactly have a straightaway 149 connection. Tap It Trice did not finish. Paco Lopez got scratched. Jose Ortiz, who was on King's Barnes that ran well but fell off at the end. His first race of the day was also on King Ottoman, and he didn't have a lot going for him today. Again, that's why we watch in the build-up to the race. A lot of experts said this was the guaranteed winner of the day, Cody's Wish with Junior Alvarado. That did happen. Not much of a payout on that horse, but everybody thought, and their mom thought that horse would definitely win its race, and it did. And that's the one where we did well. Race 10, post 4 was our big still with Hoist the Gold with Luis Saez. This was our biggest payout of the day. Javier Castellano, race 9, post 14. So 14-9, and this guy went on to win the 149th Kentucky Derby too. But again, before the race, it was 20-1 odds. When the race was run, 47-1 odds, and he won it on Web Slinger. Post 14, race 9. Ends up winning with Mage. And again, 4-letter name, 4 races for the day, 4 dead horses. Fort Bragg was a horse we liked a lot today. It did well. Fort Bragg 149, and we noticed how Rosario, who won with that, or who did well with that horse today, we noticed that in back-to-back races, he was on horses with FB initials. F is the 6th letter, B is the 2nd, 6-2, 6-2. Again, Pletcher with a record 62 horses. Today, King Charles becomes the 62nd English monarch. First race since 62 with 5 scratches. Post 14 with the favorite in it, hadn't won in 62 years. That record will be extended because Angel of Empire did not win. But yeah, Fort Bragg with a 149 got it done. So again, where we circled our 149s, they overwhelmingly did well. Yeah, just all the true 149s really did do well today. You know, things that had another Skull and Bones connection. If you're paying attention to those notes, see, we were looking for Skull and Bones numbers. Again, they're modeled after the Templars who served the Catholic Church, the old military order. That's why the Jesuits, the new order, have the Templar cross in their logo. So all these things are related. Illuminati, Skull and Bones, Jesuits. But this number 149 factors in. So all of these numbers go with Skull and Bones. So some things I was like, okay, there's a 41, 202, a 76. That could factor back to 149. But everything that was a true 149 today played really well. And again, that's why if you use the knowledge, you pay attention throughout the day, you can build the winning clues. And I suppose Castellano, I wish I knew he was Venezuelan. His huge ritual. I mean, just think about it, you guys. Again, he's Venezuelan, right? He had the biggest win of the day at the main event, but he also had the biggest payout of the day with Web Slinger, and that was a 149 ritual as well. He's Venezuelan. The bank shooting 149 days after the Venezuelan Superior General's birthday. Again. So. All right. All right, let me put my eyes on the chat. For the people asking on my Patreon, it's linked in the description of every video. I can put it in the chat though for you, but it's just patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. So yeah. Anyway, the missing piece of information, but that's the thing too. Is you go on. I mean, in a way, I'm like, why didn't I look at that? I look at that for the golf tournament. Why wouldn't I look at that for again? If you guys missed the Masters, we've hit 4 out of the last 5 Masters, and this year was easy because of the John Rahm Spaniard history. When the Masters is on 9-4, ever since Seve Ballesteros died, when the Masters is on that date, his birthday, a Spaniard's won every year since he died, which was in 2011. 11's the master number. This year, John Rahm won the Masters on his birthday, winning his 11th PGA event. Again, we're always looking for those master numbers and the rituals. Here, let me go back and look at the stats on Mage the horse. Or actually, let me look it up this way. I'm not sure that'll be updated yet. Let me see what Mage had coming in again. Mage had 3 starts and had won 2 times, or not 2 times, but had a first and a second place, no thirds. So it had placed in 2 out of its 3 races. Now it's placed in 3 out of 4. 3. 3's got that powerful relationship with 56. Okay. But yeah, I mean, people need to wake up at just how rigged the game is. Contriving news ritualistically, which clearly becomes the ritual for the Derby, with it being all about Venezuela when Arturo Sosa is from Venezuela. If anybody else wants to come on and share observations from today, and I will also provide a call-in phone number for people who'd rather call in. But yeah, if you have any other observations about the Derby today, let me know. So the link's in the chat to join. If you guys want to call in, the number is, write it down. I'll tell you what it is right now. 509-560-4982. 509-560-4982. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Charm One's got the number in the chat. I'll put it up on the screen. So all right. First guy in the room, Jalen. What's up, Jalen?
What's going on, Zach? How you feeling, man? It's been a minute.
Doing all right. What's up?
Not much. I was just I was jumping on. Let me mute you on this other tab right here. I was jumping on because I just joined the Patreon maybe like a week or 2 ago, right? And I just wanted to come on here and address the people, the trolls. You got a lot of trolls on your Patreon. It's kind of crazy, right?
They live on there to ruin the pay. I literally have paid for employees that harass me all the time because, again, not to toot my own horn, but I am the person in the world who figured out how all this stuff is rigged and have been proving it for a decade. Imagine all the billionaires that hate to see what I'm doing right now. That they're glad that the community and support for me to go out and harp on about it on the streets at the Derby, which is where I really should be. If more people support it, I'd be at the Derby doing this right now. But again, you know, I mean, that's why I have a paid for team of trolls that harass 24/7, 365, which has been an everyday thing since 2015. So, yeah, 8 years strong of trolling 24/7.
Man, it's crazy. I'm like, wow, people really like, are they paying to come up here and do this on a
Of
daily
course they are.
basis? This shit is
Who else
crazy.
would hang around just to harass somebody all day, every day, unless it was their job?
Man, it makes no sense to me. I just wanted to come on here and let everybody know, I just joined the Patreon. As of this week, I don't watch basketball. I don't watch baseball. I don't even watch TV. Zach, I found you a long time ago, back when you dropped the first book, back when you let people pay whatever they wanted to for that book. I bought the first book and I hit you up I just got the links. You posted the links to the books on the Patreon the other day. Appreciate you for that. But like I said, I just started this week alone with basketball. I'm 4-0. I'm 4-0 with Zach's Patreon, right? I have an Instagram page. It's called GematriaEffectNews, where I post my, as this week I've been posting all my my bets, my decodes, my proof, etc., to show people that, originally I was one of the people who joined the Patreon thinking that the picks were going to be on there. And I think if some people think that's not the case, I think, what I get from it is you put the work out there to assist people in making their own decisions, right? That's the kind of vibe I get from it.
That's exactly what I do. And I mean, honestly, you read the notes, it's pretty easy to see like which games look strong and which games look dicey. So just to stay away from them. I mean, it's just like yesterday, there were 2 upsets in baseball. Like I said in the notes, look for the 2 ups. There's a couple good looking upsets. Both of those upsets came through. They both had a lot of weight on them. And yeah, so I mean, I give the assist, but I let you make the lay-in.
Exactly. So I think people need to understand that he's not here to fucking lead you to the promised land for $5 a month and take you to the bank and cash you out on the lottery. Like, that's not it. You got to use your brain, think for yourself, do your own research, do your decodes, use his information to assist you. And then,
exactly. And again, we do live stream twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. It's like Tuesday, I went over the upsets and games that look good in baseball. Pretty much every single game I said out loud, that's like, that one doesn't look bad. That one doesn't look bad. That one's got some nice value. That one's got some nice value. I think at the end of the night, those 5 games I mentioned went 4-1. So, I mean, I do show you guys how I think. I lay out the notes. If you have, I mean, literally, like they say, the average American has a 5th grade level of education and intelligence. If that's true, that's plenty to understand my notes and benefit and win from them. If you're a 5th grader, you should be able to look at my notes and be like, okay, that definitely looks a lot better. And it's today that the Knicks fall to 4-3 in the playoffs. Strong number with the Miami Heat. You're brand new, but I mean, over the year, Miami Heat 43, always a number we're talking about with the Heat. Knicks fall to 4-3 in the playoffs versus the Miami Heat today.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and tell people, man, like, you see a lot of these people running around talking about Zach's Patreon is bullshit and all this, that, and the third. He's not there to lead you to the promised land, man. You got a brain for a reason. Do your own decodes. The things you don't see on the Patreon, look into those things and then combine what you see to what you figure out, and you'll have success, man. 4-0. We got the Blue Jays right yesterday. I didn't even decode that after I saw your notes on the Patreon. I just, based off what you put on there, I was like, yeah, this kind of seems like the Blue Jays. So I threw that on a parlay.
The Astros were an underdog yesterday. And just like I wrote, 94 plays a lot in Seattle games. Astros upset, and would they become 9-4 away against Seattle, Washington, 94? Only Super Bowl season, the 94th NFL season that they won it. Russell Wilson's grandpa died at 94. Everything in Seattle, 94. I was just on the streets of Seattle hollering about how the Guardians beat them 9-4 that day and why it mattered. Yeah. And again, if you guys weren't watching me in Seattle that day, I was talking all about Seattle in 94 and why so many people died in 94, Kurt Cobain, blah, blah, blah. And then that day, the Mariners get beat 9-4 just to make the point. So,
yeah, man. So, again, Suns, Phoenix, I did my own decode. It came out that I kind of had Denver losing, and I mean, it just
that made sense, right? Denver Nuggets 62. They fell to 6-2 in the
sense.
playoffs. 53 date numerology. Suns became 5-3. Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. So, I just want to encourage people, if I can, like, the Patreon is worth it. If it's not bullshit, but you have to think for yourself. Take the information he gives you, but then go off on your own and do your own research and your own digging and put your own numbers together. And if things start to line up, you'll see. 4-0, it's official, it's real, it's documented, there's proof. Zach knows his shit, man. So salute to you, Zach. Appreciate everything you do, man. You've been doing it for a long time. Like I said, it's been years, man. 5, 6, I think 6 or 7 years that I've been following you. So, I kind of took a back seat once I kind of saw everything that was going on. It's like nobody's in the community is really trying to do anything about it. You see so many people, but it's just like you're the one that's taking the action. You're outside. You're doing your runarounds and you're getting the word out there. So I wish more people would. But yeah, man, y'all need to have faith in the Patreon. He knows the shit, man, and it's worth it for sure.
I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much.
Later.
All right, that's Jalen 42, and I think I know why he put 42 on his name. He's just saying we know, but yeah, and again, you guys, I mean, you don't even have to do that much of your own thinking. You just need to look. I mean, I stack the notes each day. Like, here's the narrative for this team. There might be nothing there. There might be a whole lot for the other team, or there might be 2 things for one team and 7 things for the other. It's all about weighing the scales. Like, well, if all that can line up for that team, that's the better side of the narrative. And again, if you just went down to the best game in the notes each day in baseball, you would win nearly every single day. We're hitting upsets day after day. NBA playoffs have been great for us this year. Derby was good today, but I wish we did actually better in the main event. I'm mad at myself for not knowing the Venezuelan connection with Mage. Somebody keeps calling from no caller ID. I'm not sure if it's a troll or it could be Lane. No caller ID. Oh, I see. They're just calling over and over to block the phone line so nobody else can call in. That's what they're doing. And then they'll just hang up each time I get on there. So the troll is blocking the phone line if anybody else has been trying to call in. But he just got it on auto dial repeat. But yeah, anybody, if you ever heard from anybody that, again, you guys, sorry if you're trying to call in. That's why I use the link, because no caller ID is just taking over the show here. But let me see. Again, if you want to join the show, there's a link so you can bypass the troll who's got the phone number on lockdown. Or if not, we can wrap it up there. Let's see. Yeah, the trolls are lowlifes, but this is their job. Yeah, Arturo Sosa's the Magic age is 74 from Venezuela, and a Venezuelan jockey and trainer take the 149th Kentucky Derby. And yeah, again, the bank shooting in the 4th month was 149 days after his birthday. Mage, 4 letters. Castellano, 4 races today, 4 dead horses. Big ritual. So yeah, the troll. The troll's just on auto dial nonstop. He just keeps calling from no caller ID. So no, it's not. All you guys think it's a win for me that the trolls stay on my Patreon and harass. It's not, because they scare away more people than they. I mean, they're the reason tons of people come and go, because they can't handle all the trolling and negative comments, because they're just getting that spam in their email. That's why they work 24/7 to sabotage. All right. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now. And in the remaining big races, I will be sure to look at the nationality of the jockeys. I've actually never taken that into account, and I'm regretting that wasn't part of my. There's so much information to go through, especially with the Derby, because there's so many horses. But yeah, that was it. Obviously, as soon as I heard them say Venezuela, I was like, "Isn't that where Arturo Sosa's from?" He sure is from there. So yeah. Anyway, the point is we still solve what's going on in the world and prove our point even further. And that's why when I came out right away, I said bank shooting with the same numbers as the Kentucky Derby. Again, just how perfect it was. I mean, look at it, you guys. Look how perfect it all is. 149 days after his birthday. Now his country wins it. A bank shooting on the 10th, 26 days before the Derby. Doesn't Mage equal 26? Damn it. I didn't think about that either, but I think Mage does equal 26. Yeah, Mage is 26 too. Again, it looked better when it was 19 horses in the race. When they took out the horse this morning, I thought that was an indicator that maybe Mage wasn't as interesting. But yeah, 26 goes with the Mage as well. So. And just to show you guys, here, let me show you about the 2023 Kentucky Oaks. That's the big event on Friday. I just want you to see how it's all the same all across the board. The horse that won, Pretty Mischievous. Check this out. 247 in the most simple cipher. Remember, the post positions were drawn on the Illuminati's 247th birthday, the same day the 76ers got their 247th playoff win. And Irad Ortiz Jr., who was the guy who came in with 149 wins for that day, he came in second with Gambling Girl. Notice how her name equals 69. In that same cipher, Kentucky Oaks is 69. So is Illuminati, okay? So that was the only horse with the 69 connection. And then third place was the Alley's Look. This was the only horse that equaled 55. This race was on 5-5, just like how the bank shooting was at the 55 location. Oh, you timed yourself to beat the troll, DK. What's up?
Oh, I figured since I was calling on the other number, it wouldn't affect me.
Oh, that might have also did it, but somehow you're the only person to get through besides him.
Well, I'm a magician, and that's why I'm about to say what I'm about to say. So I was just looking at like these names of these horses. So you have like what was the one? Cyclone, or what was it? Cyclone
Mischief.
Yeah, so that's weather modification, Cyclone Mischief. And then you got, like, I was just looking up the winner's Mage, right?
Right.
So I was looking up Mage. I'm like, Mage definition. First thing that comes up is Magus, Magus. And then if you look down further, it says it's a magician.
Right.
Or whatever. So, like, everything, I don't know if every single one of them, but I bet, most of the names of these horses are all something,
That's why that again in race 10 post 4, we loved the horse that had the worst odds because it was all synced up with the bank robbery, and that horse came in second, which was a great payout. And
what was the name of it? Something having to do with like bank robbers?
Gold Hoist. So because again, the bank shooting was on 10-4, and the race was race 10 post 4, and the jockey's name Luis Saez equals 104, and he was connected to the dead horses. So. So, yeah, that was the horse that we talked about the very most outside of the main Derby. And, again, just using the clues and the numbers, we did well. I'm just mad at myself for not catching that Mage had the all big Venezuelan connections with the Superior General being Venezuelan.
Yeah, sometimes these jockeys, they're a lot of them that end up winning are these, like, these like, small pygmy-style fake Jews, like Kissinger or whatever, his little penguin ones, because they have to be small to ride the horses. So
126 pounds max weight.
Yeah, it's just so they don't just choose these. Jockeys like, oh, you're pretty good. You want to come ride this horse or whatever? It doesn't work like that.
Indeed. So
I just wanted to throw that in there.
All right, appreciate it, DK.
Okay, talk soon.
All right, later, man. Okay. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. Just understand, news and sports, it's all scripted. So. Troll's back on it. I don't know how DK got through. It'd be funny if it turned out DK was the troll. It's like, that's how we got through. Anyway, yeah, that's it for now. Again, you guys join the Patreon, learn the knowledge, take advantage as we do day after day. And again, you guys just look, ESPN this morning did a big thing about how LeBron James and Steph Curry are like a Hollywood script, even being born in the same hospital. I look at this. They play today, right? On the King's coronation on 5-6. Look at this. LeBron James all-time playoff record versus Steph Curry. Just what are the odds that this is even possible on 5-6 while LeBron's 4-6 in the finals? Oh, shit, I'm on the wrong. I used up my, hold on. Let me do it on this one. I'll get the stat up here so you can see it. LeBron James all-time playoff record versus Steph Curry. I just want you to see that he's 4-6 versus Steph. Like, it's a home playoff record, all-time home playoff record, excuse me. And let me change this so you can actually see it. Hold on, I got to share a different screen with you. And that is so weird that it's not coming up. I definitely have it up. Why is it not showing up? Weird. I'm trying to select the right tab to show you guys. If you guys just go to StatMuse and you haven't used up all your wishes, you can see that LeBron, or I know how to show it to you. I have the screenshot on Twitter. That'll be the easiest way to do it. Hold on. Oh, we have another caller too, actually. What's up, 206?
Did I make it through?
You made it through. You beat the troll.
All right. So I wanted to just bring up something really quick. It really has nothing to do with like gematria, but I just thought it was kind of funny at the Derby today with phrases that certain announcers were making. I don't know if anybody else caught this. I can't remember which race it was before the Kentucky Derby. It might have been the race before the Kentucky Derby, but Churchill is going through a massive remodel of their paddock area, you know, where the horses are walking around. Apparently, they're going to invest like $23 million or something into it.
$23 million in 23. Okay.
So check it. Dude walks in, dude walks into the middle of the paddock. There's the owners and trainers are standing there in their pretty little hats and all that. And he said, yeah, I think it was the race before. And so he says something to the effect, I might butcher it, but he said, walking into this paddock that they're going to blah, 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 do this big remodel on. And you can just feel the excitement. It's like a cauldron boiling over, and the adrenaline is mounting so high. And I thought, whoa. Now, does that sound like a ritual or what?
Yeah, it sounds like magic, and then the Mage wins. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, totally is. Who says cauldron and boiling over and basically harvesting adrenaline all in sports?
Sure.
So I just thought that was that caught my ear, and there was something else, and I totally spaced it out. But yeah, the remodel of the paddock, the cauldron boiling over, and then the fact that Sassy Joseph Jr. Day before the Derby gets indefinitely suspended with all of his horses there. I don't know. Just this whole Derby this year was just bizarre.
Just it gets more bizarre as time goes on. There's been so many years where they do these huge reshufflings at the end, and yeah.
The other thing was the horse named Sun Thunder.
Yeah.
Trained by Kenny Pete. They did like a quick little media snippet about his background or something, but it was specifically said he was number 13, this horse, okay, mind you. And they specifically said that the Pope put him on his prayer list today, and like have these pictures of the Pope and all this. And it was just like, now, this is just getting too creepy.
Indeed. It is creepy when you realize what's really going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I mean, witchcraft and everything plays right into gematria and all of that, and the whole rituals and sacrifices. How many horses we lost today? I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's nuts. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, a little something to chew on.
All right, appreciate the observations. Thank you.
All right, Zach. See you.
All right, yeah, have a good one. Take care. All right, guys, we will leave it there. I got to start making dinner over here. But, yeah, the big takeaway for me is got to look at the jockey nationality. Again, I don't know if it'll always be so clear, but it all being synced up with the superior general from Venezuela and then Venezuela winning it. It's just like, ugh. 816.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up?
What's up, Jack? Hey, I just want to let you know that I convinced a couple of my friends to we're gonna come down there and join you on Kobe Bryant's Day if that was all right with you.
Oh, that's more than all right. I love to hear that. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you. I just wanted to call in and tell you that we'll be down there with you.
Okay, I look forward to that. Thank you.
All right, yep.
All right, take care, man.
All right, you too.
Very cool. That's what we need. We need people bringing out their friends. We need a lot of people on Kobe Bryant Day to turn more heads. And I hope next year I am at the Kentucky Derby. It'd be a good one to be there for. Next year's the 150th. Remember, Illuminati equals 150. It's like how they say the sun's 150 million kilometers away on average, the thing that illuminates the world. 954?
Hey, Zach, I just wanted to reiterate something I said to you a couple days ago real quick.
Yeah.
I was talking about who was going to score first for the Lakers. I really like Anthony Davis. From his last birthday till today is 56 days on the dot.
And I saw at the beginning of the last game, they mentioned that he had a career high in the playoffs shooting 56%. So there's some 56s around Anthony Davis. Okay.
And he wears the number 3, of course, equals 56.
Right.
He went to Kentucky College, the College of Kentucky, and we know the Kentucky Derby was today, the 149th. That's the 35th prime. His last name, Davis, equals 35. Also, his full name, Anthony Davis, equals 53. So
Okay.
I just thought that was really interesting. He was born on the 11th, and he was the first pick in the first round, so 11.
He's the storyline in the finals. They're saying the Lakers got beat down in game 2 because Anthony Davis was a no-show after being a monster in game 1. By the way, the Warriors won with 127 points in the last game, and LeBron got his 127th playoff loss.
Yeah, and if LeBron scored first tonight, that would be his 3rd time in a row scoring first for the Lakers. So if he did score first,
Okay, that's not a bad thought. He is King James.
The Mage equals for the horse that won Mage equals 53, and like King Charles. And I was just saying how Anthony Davis equals 53, and he went to Kentucky, so maybe they all put it in together, you know?
Oh yeah. AD went to Kentucky where the race was. Good one.
Yeah. All right, that's all I wanted to say real quick. Yeah, the game starts in like 10 minutes, so.
All right. Great observations. Keep it up,
Thank
Slick
you,
Nick.
Zach.
All right. Yeah, take care, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, later.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah, just for real, like my trolls are morons, you guys. They'll point out when I go 0-2 in a college basketball, but they'll leave out that we went 6-0 in the NBA and hit on 11.5-point underdog that day for a big win. What's up, Itachi?
3rd time's the charm. Yeah, man. Did you mention Bronny James signing with UFC today?
I missed that. Just another James thing, huh?
Yeah, Trojan.
I was thinking about today being UFC 288. I was thinking about that just because Chadwick Boseman died on 28-8, and there were some 288s in that. And then I was just seeing how the Jamie Foxx show, did it end on August 28th, I think? There's
I'm
something
not
up
too
with that.
familiar with that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, there's been I'm starting to think that 288's more than I know about that number. Yeah, the Jamie Foxx show ended it began August 28th, 96.
I remember you were looking it up in the match calculator, and I think there was some phrase like going to Disney World, what they all say after they win the Super Bowl, equaled 288, but not too familiar with that number, honestly. 280, I think it's a span of 288 days after the Lakers head coach's birthday. I could be wrong about that. It's born July 23rd. But yeah, it's just interesting, more James 5'6" stuff. They said he was at the arena 5 hours before the game shooting around. So
Okay.
we'll see what they, have him do. I don't think he does that a lot, but honestly got to wonder, with what they've been doing with the Kentucky Derby and these like that Mage horse, right? That wasn't initially in, was it?
Mage? No, Mage was in the whole time.
It was in the whole time. I see. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was just the number 8 and 126 thing. I'm sorry,
I keep covering why. Venezuela. Again, the whole thing was foretold in the bank shooting 149 days after the Venezuelan Superior General's birthday. Then Venezuela wins the 149th Kentucky Derby. 4-letter name horse. Castellano was in 4 races. And we know about the 4 dead horses. So that was the 4th thing going for Mage, too. And then remember, Mage came in 2nd place to Forte in the Florida Derby, but then Forte got booted from the race. So Mage ends up winning this one without Forte in it.
Yeah. And I mean, this stuff's tough. That's why the odds are so high. And just for context, right? They have an expert who's covered it since '88, and how many times has he won? Like 4 times. So yeah, what you're doing is extremely impressive. The 2 other ones placed at least, right? Angel of Empire and
yeah, and the other races we liked today did well.
Yeah.
I mean, overall we had a good day. If you played all the 149s that I highlighted, all of them hit in all the races outside, including that one hit for 47-1. So I mean, you use the knowledge I put out today.
Yeah,
you could have had a very lucrative day.
Yeah, it's almost like it reminds me of how they're doing like a team will win the first half on a good riddle. It's like those first races that no one is paying attention to. That's the clearest 149 riddle. So
again, they made a big point before the race went off how much public money was on the 2 favorites. It was like they made a point that like almost all the money's on those 2 horses, and then neither of them win. And maybe they would have done better if there wasn't so much money on them. So.
And I mean, it's scripted to a T. How they have like King's Barn being competitive for like the last 20 until the last like 20 seconds or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
fell off at the end.
That's got a chance.
Yeah, fell off at the end.
Yeah. Anyway, man, liking the NBA tonight, and the Heat took care of business. So
yeah, the Heat looked pretty good today. Miami Heat 56, get it done on 5-6. So
yep, yeah, couldn't fade the 56 team, and LA Lakers equals 56. So we'll see what they do. I like the LeBron connection in the head-to-head record.
Isn't it just stupid how scripted it is? So.
Say that again?
It's just dumb how scripted it is. I mean, ESPN did a big segment this morning on how LeBron and Steph are like a Hollywood script. I mean, that was the whole premise of the thing, is just like how amazing it all is, even born in the same hospitals. It's like, who is falling for this shit? So.
Crazy. And I mean, for them to match up again on the May 2nd date, the anniversary of King James Bible, and then if people know about Nate Thurmond and all this, but what is kind of, a breath of fresh air is like people who I used to tell it's scripted, like after, the NFL player came out and was kind of being sarcastic about it. They hear that type of stuff and just how it's openly talked about now. And, they're like the herd. If it's openly talked about, they're like, you know what? I'm starting to think it is that way. So that's the one bright spot. But yeah, man, appreciate you taking my call, and keep up the good work. I know you're, making waves, and sometimes it seems like you're not with the algorithm and the people supporting and whatnot, but I look forward to actually meeting you on August 24th.
You're coming out for that one, huh? All right.
Yeah, I haven't been to LA since, you know what's funny? It was the game that LeBron got his triple-double against every team. It was like right before the pandemic.
Okay.
He's playing the Thunder
with
Chris Paul and all that. So, yeah. Happy birthday to Chris Paul. But, yeah, full circle. So, yeah, I'll be there at that one. I'm probably not in New York, but, yeah.
All right, Itachi. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Yep, see ya.
Yeah, later. Okay. Yeah, I need more people to support the Patreon so I can buy a second speaker and hire somebody to help me pack. I got to carry 2 of those speakers around LA. I'm going to have a broken back by the time I get there, but we do need a second speaker for 824, so we're broadcasting big noise both ways. What's up, Cousin Mar?
Yo, Cousin Zach. So speaking of 288, the Lakers are on 287 victories, including playoffs all time against the Golden State Warriors, and the Warriors are on 185 victories. We all know basketball equals 185. I like the Lakers going 4-1 against Golden State. But speaking of your 288, I was trying to figure out that why 288 mattered. Then you hit me with the Chadwick Boseman and then the Jamie Foxx. But if the Lakers win tonight, they will have 288 victories all time, including playoffs and regular season victories. If they win tonight, it'd be 288.
There's that number again. There's something about that number. And again, you guys, Jamie Foxx made his name in TV with what name? Jamie King, which sounds a lot like King James, like how this Lakers-Warriors series began on the anniversary of the publishing of the King James Bible. And if you missed my work on Jamie Foxx and what's going on with him and why he had his emergency situation on the first day of the NBA play-in where Atlanta, where he is, won, and the Lakers won, and how it was synced up with Soul and Ray Charles and all that, go back and check that stuff out.
Facts. And LeBron scored. I was going to say Bronny James was number 19 in the country to go with Mage 19.
Yeah, man. I wish they didn't take out Forte this morning because Mage looked so much better to me before it went down to 18 horses.
Yep, I seen number 19, and then I typed in Mage. I said, "Wow, there we go." You know what I mean? That you know, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, USC also equals 38. You know, he commits to USC while his dad is 38. His dad broke the record. You know.
Wait, who's going to USC? Bronny James?
Yeah, Bronny James going to USC.
Oh, and that was announced today?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yo, so for another 56, because of that, LA Lakers equals 56.
Yeah. No, I know that.
No, I'm just saying. So, you know what I mean? Like with the whole LeBron getting a 5 and 6 tonight. Yeah, I think today was a clear-cut ritual for the king, you know, a body stacking up and X, Y, and Z. So also, here goes another thing. I was trying to correlate, you know, the whole Lakers beating Golden State with this Fed now. So the Lakers are 6-1 against Golden State Warriors in playoff series. They win, they'll become 7-1. You know, Catholic 7-1, 71. We know that the Fed now coin is coming out on 7-1. You know what I mean? And the 7 dead horses. I'm relating this 7 to LeBron beating Golden State Warriors against the Lakers, or 7 series victory over Golden State Warriors this series.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, good finds, Cousin Mar.
Appreciate you, man. That's all I had to say. Thank
all right.
you.
Yeah, take care. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I know the game's starting. You guys want to watch the game. But, again, you guys, it's sick. I mean, our news and our sports are scripted. It's sick. It's sick. It's undeniable. I mean, you really think it's a coincidence what I was showing about the bank shooting and the Superior General and then his country wins it all? I'm annoyed with myself that I missed the Venezuela thing. But anyway, still proving what's going on, and we still had a winning day. Could have been a very winning day if you got in those early races with the 149s I pointed out. We knew that'd be a big number in this one. All right, True Seeker, until next time, have a good day.